This is so stupid and it happened last night and I'm sure we'll both laugh about eventually, but husband is still kinda dicked. So I was being a trash goblin last night and staying up into the wee hours to eat Easter candy and play video games, which I don't do that often. Anyway, does anyone else enjoy robin's eggs? Those neon-colored malted milk ball eggs they sell this time of year? Well, as a kid I used to do this stupid thing where I would lick them and smear the color all over my lips because hey, free lipstick. Do not ask what compelled me to do this, but I did this last night with a blue one. Then of course because I am a trash goblin I forgot all about it, fell asleep slack-jawed upright on the couch with the lights on and TV still going. Next thing I know there's shouting, panicking sounds, and I'm being shaken violently, and by the time I come to I see my husband fumbling with his phone. I kind of flapped my arms angrily and said something like "What's wrong with you?" Yeah, he had been about to call 911 because he just walked out on his wife passed out with blue lips. He thought I was choking. He was pretty incensed when I told him it was candy. It's the dumbest thing I've ever had to explain in our whole marriage. TL, doctor, I accidentally did a candy-coated imitation of the recently deceased causing my husband a panic attack and a near summoning of an ambulance. Edit didn't expect this to be so popular, thanks for the awards, and the discussions on different candy-eating rituals. My husband has steadied his nerves and is now just ribbing me mercilessly not just for scaring him senseless, but also because I've been training for a triathlon and eating really healthily, so this lapse was extra grotesque. Last night I went on what could be described as the shortest and saddest Tinder date ever. The girl was really cute and seemed really interested in getting to know me. She was so keen to hang out with me that she suggested that I pick her up at her place. I agreed. Cut to us driving in my car. She was even more attractive in person. Conversation was not an obstacle either. We were having a good time. Until she told me to drive her to a location that was not our date location. It was a friend's house. There was something of hers that the friend had which she needed back. The house happened to be on our way so I didn't really mind. When we got there, she went inside while I waited in the driveway. I waited for about 10 minutes before I sent my first message requesting an update. No response. Eventually I called. Still nothing. Finally I decided to walk up to the house and knock on the door. A tall guy answered the door. Good looking. Tattoos. Classic case of not the kind of guy girls bring home to their parents type. He asked if I wanted to come in and said I'm actually waiting for my date to come out so we could leave. He told me she's not coming out anytime soon because she's having sex with his roommate. I don't know what my facial expression was at that moment, but that tattooed guy decided to hug me without warning and said he used to fuck her too, and based on his experience, there is better pussy out there. Not gonna lie, I did shed a tear or two on my way home. This morning I received a message from my so-called date. In the message she blamed the striking Uber drivers in my country for forcing her to find other ways of getting car rides. I deleted her number without responding. TL doctor agreed to pick up my date at her house. She asked me to stop at someone else's house on the way. Little did I know that someone was a guy she was gonna have sex with while I waited outside like an idiot. My wife and I have a weird married thing where basically she says no touching, and I yell no touching. And immediately take my hands off of her, but sometimes the rule only applies to my hands. Anywhere else on my body is fair game. This can also used during sex as a joke, or if she's not in the mood can be used to turn down sex. Pretty versatile phrase, really, and acts as a safe word if necessary. Why do you care about my weird married thing? Because today I had surgery for a deviated septum, which means I got a nice shot of midazolam and remember nothing until the surgery was complete, when I absolutely should not be touching my nose. To ensure I wouldn't do that, a very strong male nurse was standing next to the bed waiting for me to wake up. When that happened, of course I tried to rub my nose because that mofo hurt. But this nurse is experienced. He's fast. He says wait, no touching. My high ass yells no touching and I put my hands down. Things got very confusing afterwards. Pretty sure the nurse sees people acting ratchet several times a day and never thought twice about it, but my wife and I got a good laugh once I could comprehend what happened. TL, doctor, nurse used my wife's safe word, phrase right after I came out of anesthesia. Edit. Thank you to those who have reminded me that this was an Arrested Development reference. It's been years since I watched the series and had forgotten where this came from. Hey, guys. It's about 3 a.m. here in Norway at the moment and I just fucked up a bit. We're borrowing my girlfriend's father's house for the weekend while he and his partner are away. It's me, my girl and our 1-year-old son. The kid was put down to sleep around 8 p.m. and my girlfriend went to bed around 11 p.m. About 2 hours ago, around 1 a.m., I went to draw a bath in the tub. I love taking baths at night and we don't have a tub at home now, so when I get the chance, I go for it. The bathroom is on the 2nd floor of the house, alongside 3 bedrooms, one of them occupied by the kid and the other by her and me. Once I've tidied up my shit and find all the light switches, who the hell hides their switches underneath wall cabinets? All that remains is to ascend the staircase and lower my pale carcass into the perfectly temperated bath water that calms my nerves and soothes my balls. The thing is, it's a really creaky staircase. Like, comically so. It sounds like you're violently disintegrating it beneath your feet as you climb it. The noise is insane. Those noises will wake everyone in the house if you don't go about it expertly, and even then you're still making enough noise to garner a contract on your head from the neighbors. My girl is a light sleeper, has trouble sleeping and really values the sleep she does get. My son is a slightly heavier sleeper, but he's nowhere near my own loudly comatose sleep, and this creaking would shatter any hope of me entering the bath this side of an hour. And did I mention how steep this fucking thing is? It's more akin to a climbing wall. How 3 kids grew up in this house without casualties amazes me, because this thing is deadly if you don't watch your step. Add to that the challenge of avoiding creaking and you've got a proper quest on you. So what do? Naturally I use my superior genes, gender and brain power to concoct an appropriate solution suitable to my ambitions. I figured I'd walk on all fours. You know, to distribute my weight as I went up the stairs, to creak less. The idea made sense at the time, and to be honest, it worked, future consequences notwithstanding. The creaking was much, much lower. But not low enough not to wake my girlfriend. As I turned off the last light downstairs and made my ascent, she came out in the hallway. She wasn't wearing her lenses, so it took a moment for her to notice me, since I also instinctively froze for that same little moment when she opened the bedroom door. So at that very moment, as I freeze, she looks at me, and all she could see was my pale, tired nighttime face frozen in an undoubtedly unfortunate grimace, with a bigger, even paler body, climbing up at her like an albino spider from the pitch-black darkness of downstairs. On all fours. At 1 a.m. She screamed so loud it shook my eyeballs and howled as she fell to the floor and shrieked in very real, deathly fear. Our son woke up, joining his mother in the absolute mayhem that was my relaxing bath time. I nearly fell down the stairs, but managed to rush up and calm my girlfriend, but she was terrified and furious at me. Thankfully she was able to laugh at it once we calmed down our son and her heart rate slowed down to triple digits. She, ever the drama queen, feels this was not appropriate behavior at 1 a.m. at night. She also thought I looked like an American version of The Grudge Girl, but creepier. Threats were leveled against me and my dearest parts if I ever did that again. I got my bath, though. I.timger.com web link. TL, doctor, I wanted to sneak up a steep, creaky staircase, crawled on all fours to avoid noise, girlfriend saw me and was scared half to death.